Now, I am not saying that others were not trafficked and others were not involved. What I am telling you is that, and I know it's a little complicated to understand, but what exists in the Epstein case files was the investigation, again, going back to 2008, Mr. Acosta, who limited the investigation and limited the search warrants and limited the parameters of the investigation.
Whoa, just watching that gives you chills. That moment where Senator Booker absolutely unleashes, telling Kash Patel, "I am not afraid of you," wasn't just a breakdown in a hearing. It was a full-on political explosion. These weren't just two people disagreeing. This was a direct confrontation over the very integrity of the FBI and the safety of the American people. What led to that boiling point? The entire 7 minutes of Booker's questioning were building to that moment. Let's break down the accusations and the incredible heat in this room.
I believe that timeline's correct, Senator.
Congratulations. Sometimes we miss the forest for the trees. Good work. Did Mr. Kirk's assassin act alone?
As I've said since the beginning, Senator, it is very much an ongoing investigation, and I can't speak to the state charges. That's for the state to address on their own, but we are providing them with the same investigatory findings reporting the department. And as I noted to Senator, I believe it was Cornyn or Hawley, that there are a number of individuals that are currently being investigated and interrogated, and a number yet to be investigated and interrogated specific to that chat room. So we are very much in our ongoing posture of investigation.
So others could have been involved?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I asked you this last time you were here. Kash, you remember Mr. Peter Strzok and Ms. Lisa Page?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Strzok was an FBI agent. Ms. Page was an FBI lawyer. They were both very aggressive anti-Trump political activists who allowed their political opinions to affect their work at the FBI. Is that a fair statement?
I believe their text messages and their testimony that was secured by the OIG and DOJ speak for themselves.
In fact,
that evasion is incredible. Booker is basically saying, you know what you said. Why won't you tell the committee? The issue here isn't just the answer, it's the refusal to answer. For Booker, that refusal undermines Patel's credibility right from the start, making the whole hearing about integrity. It's a very tactical move to start challenging his honesty before getting to the bigger issues.
for Vice President Harris?
I don't ask people who they vote for, and neither does the FBI.
Okay. But you've given people polygraphs, have you not?
Many people in the FBI take polys.
The FBI does that all the time.
Yes, sir.
Does it not?
Yes,
For
sir.
a long time, is that correct?
Decades.
All right. I want to ask you about the Epstein files. Have you seen the Epstein files?
I have not reviewed the entirety of it myself, but a good amount.
Okay. Would it be fair to say that Mr. Epstein trafficked young women, including, in some instances, minors, for sex to himself?
That was specifically the allegations in the 2018 indictment in the Southern District of New York.
Okay. Who else did he traffic these young women to?
In terms of what the investigation, again, going back to 2008, Mr. Acosta, who limited the investigation and limited the search warrants and limited the parameters of the investigation, the only thing we are able to speak to publicly, because he was given a non-prosecution agreement by Mr. Acosta, is that first time period from, I believe, don't quote me on this, 97 to 2001-ish. And then when the Trump administration courageously reopened it.
Excuse me for interrupting, but I'm going to run out of time. You've seen most of the files. Who, if anyone, did Epstein traffic these young women to besides himself?
Himself. There is no credible information. None. If there were, I would bring the case yesterday that he trafficked to other individuals. And the information we have, again, is limited.
So the answer is no one?
For the information that we have.
In the files?
In the case file.
Okay. Now, President Trump has deferred to the FBI and the Department of Justice with respect to the Epstein records. He says it is your call about releasing them. And I understand that the department and the agency have decided to release them in cooperation with the House committee. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
So you're releasing them a little bit at a time. Is that correct?
We're releasing as much as we can, but we are limited by 3 different court orders, and the department went back to each of those judges to waive those court orders or have them lifted, and each of those judges declined.
Will you release all of them, or at least as many as you can?
We will release everything we are legally permitted to do so. We are continuing to work with the House on the subpoena request. We have substantially complied with it, but we will continue to release whatever we are legally permitted to do so.
Okay. I strongly encourage you to do that, Kash. This issue's not going to go away. And I think the central question for the American people is this. They know that Epstein trafficked young women for sex to himself. They want to know who, if anyone else, he trafficked these young women to. And that's a very fair question. I want to know that answer. And I think you're going to have to.
That was the emotional peak of Booker's case. He ties the micro actions, firing agents, directly to a macro disaster, a less safe America. He even throws in the ultimate insult by saying Patel's loyalty to Trump is temporary. You could feel the tension building. This wasn't just criticism. It was a character assassination delivered under oath. And that is exactly why the next clip, the incredible final shouting match, was inevitable.
Got it. But based on credible information, we have released all credible information, and the information that the Department of Justice and the FBI never releases is information on investigations that are not credible. And we don't release the names of victims who weren't credible, but in the same time, we don't release the names of victims who were credible. And so that's by law. And so the information we are releasing now is historic, and it is also to the maximum capacity that the law allows. And I know that's not going to satisfy many, many, many people. But if they wanted it done right, then the investigation from its origination should have been done right. And he should not have been given a get-out-of-jail-free card to do jail on the weekends for 12 hours a day. And he should have been investigated fully for the entirety of his crime and criminal enterprise, not just from 1997 to 2001.
That ending, the immediate angry retort from Patel, and the infamous "I am not afraid of you" line, it's everything. It captures a deep personal animosity that goes beyond policy. This wasn't a policy debate, it was a battle over the very soul of the FBI. Booker's core argument is that Patel prioritized political loyalty to the previous administration over the institution's capacity, gutting its most experienced agents and leaving America vulnerable to foreign enemies like Vladimir Putin. Patel's response, when he finally gets his chance, is a fiery defense, throwing out statistics about drug seizures, violent arrests, and counterintelligence wins as proof that the FBI, under his watch, is succeeding, not failing. But here is where the emotion comes in. Booker ends his time with a moment of personal pity, saying, "I pray for you," while predicting Patel's swift political downfall. It's a theatrical but incredibly effective move, designed to humiliate. This hearing wasn't about finding common ground. It was about laying down a marker. It was a warning shot, televised and viral-ready, about the politicization of the country's top law enforcement agency. So, what did you take away from this confrontation? Do you believe Senator Booker's argument that Kash Patel is responsible for the generational destruction of the FBI, making us less safe? Or do you agree with Kash Patel that his 7 months of leadership have actually made the country safer, with clear results in arrests and seizures? Drop your thoughts and your analysis of this fiery exchange in the comments below, and subscribe for more breakdowns of the most explosive political moments.